What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So massive shout out to Abraham, Adrian Quintana, Alistair, Billy Highvault, Burn Fat Till My Stomach is as Flat as the Earth, Chow Young Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gafford, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Felix Hung, Fireball X, Godrockin, Jeranism, Joshua, Kirsten, Life is Short, Matt, Naibai, Tar Craig, Reinhardt, Renee, Sally Ballis, Sam Hine, Skeptic936, Texas Mike, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker, and Tom. So, massive amounts of appreciation out to all of you on Patreon for supporting me. Really appreciate your support. Now, we are joined by a few people in Discord and G+. We've got Righteous Force and 10th Man in G+. How are you both doing?
Good morning.
Very well.
Hello to... Oh, there isn't anybody in Discord, it's just us. Hey ho.
It's okay.
To be fair, people are less inclined to join on a Friday because there's no main show like on the main channel. It's just on the second channel, so people aren't aware necessarily that there's even a show going on right now. Obviously, with us not being live.
I bet you the trolls will find their way in.
I think they're over on Anthony's stream at the moment. I don't know if he's still going.
Oh, they are, huh?
Isn't this 992? Yes, it is. Could be. Is it? What number show are we on? I've forgotten.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what number is that. We're getting close.
One of the chat commenters has just asked if this is 992. No, it's 993. Yeah, 993. Got it right the first time, mate.
So 993, and then the next one will be 994, and then Monday you'll start 995, right?
So today we'll do 993 and 994, and that'll be Saturday and Sunday's main channel shows. So we're pre-recording Friday, Saturday and Sunday today, basically.
Yeah. So then your 1000th will fall on.
I worked it out to being Monday last week when I last looked at the calendar.
Yeah, so 2 Mondays from now, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. That's good. The beginning of the following week.
Yes.
Speaking of shows and people on shows, I got on Discord yesterday after your show, and I was just working, and I said, well, I'll just listen. So just muted myself and listened. Of course, familiar individuals were there, and so I decided to jump on because the topic was a little interesting. And got off, and then, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock my time, I think, something like that. Maybe even later. PM, that is, in California. I just go look at it, and there's Zanuck still talking. I'm going, what's this guy do all day? Who does this?
Well,
what?
Chocolate.
Sure, at a museum. He's a pilot.
Say that again?
Just listing off his claimed credentials. Hey, Matthias.
Hey.
Well, it's not the first time, but it was the first time I gave it some real thought of who gets on in the morning and stays on till hours and hours of the day and does this on a regular basis. What kind of person is motivated to do this, and why do they do it? And what struck me funny was the topic in the morning, the one I jumped on, diverted from flat Earth a bit. And I caught him trying to pull it back. Hey, this ain't flat. This ain't. We need to get back to flat. So it's like he's here for one reason, one reason only, I think.
Yeah, we're challenging his religion. It's got to hurt, man.
Yeah, I think there's more to it. Of course we are. All that is true. Of course.
He's a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yeah, he had them on last night's whatever show that was that he was on. He had them arguing and begging the question like you'd never. So I jumped on last night's show just like I did in the morning, and I was gonna say that space that you're talking about, that violation of the second law of thermodynamics, that violation, Zanuck, the one that you get pummeled on and then go on other shows and get those flat earthers to argue within the fallacy, and you just hours and hours of arguing something that's not real. That space, Zanuck, I was going to just go through all that, right? And so I jumped on ready to go, and they got me muted. I can't get on. But this is why your show rocks, because you nailed it at the beginning, tear their legs out from under them, and they can't stay afloat in water just using their arms.
Right.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not quite early today. About half an hour before the live show goes live.
Yeah, no worries. Who's on the call right now? Who was that talking? Matthias, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask and see if you have a special plan for the episode 1000.
No special plans. I'll just run a show, but I just said the same to somebody in the chat. I'm just very happy to have got to 1,000, given the amount of attempts to shut me down, as they phrase it.
I didn't know if you was gonna maybe try to have a special guest appear or something like that.
No, nothing like that. Like I say, just happy. It's an occasion in itself. So, no.
Far without getting, without your channel getting fucking deleted or some shit.
Yeah, not for the want of trying on their part, whoever they may be.
Right.
Well, it's hours and hours and hours and hours just to produce 1 hour show, let alone 1,000.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, this morning I did get set up particularly quickly. I don't know why. Hence, I've started a little bit earlier. But sometimes you just maybe if I was quick, I can probably get everything set up in under 10 minutes, like all of the different things I use for the show. But if something goes wrong, which it often does, then that's 10 minutes could be a 10-minute extra faff added to the first 10 minutes of getting it set up, then restarting the PC, then doing it all again, and straight away you're into half an hour. Hence, I typically try and start about 10 past the hour, giving me 50 minutes, which seems like a lot to most people, but even without any issues, I think it did take me 10 minutes today, so 20 past the hour I was ready. But like I say, some days it can take all 50 minutes and you're cutting it really close to the hour, and to the audience's eye, they don't care. It just starts on time, right? But if you start with only 20 minutes to spare and you have an issue and it takes 10 to set up and 10 to sort the issue and then another 10 to set it, you just could be late. So I don't know, I like being punctual. I think it's quite important.
No, I think it's unique to have a pre-show, a show, and an after show. I think it's actually very unique, and you get a surprises happening in that pre and after show that you wouldn't have in a regular show.
Right.
Yeah, when I first seen it, I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, it seems to work.
Yeah, and it gives you allots you the time to fix things if something does go wrong.
And if the live stream cocks up, it's still a show. I was explaining this to QE the other day, actually, when I was teaching him how to record, and he recorded it and streamed it, but just for the purposes of his Patreons. So it's, probably get 2 or 3 views, but it was mainly a test. But the point of the test was to say, look, if you're just live streaming and you get into a technical issue, the chances are that's like top priority, because without the live stream running, there's no point in continuing doing whatever you're doing, whatever the presentation may be. So if you're recording, on the other hand, and the live stream cocks up, you just carry on regardless. You go, well, we're still recording. Yes, there's an issue with the live stream, which obviously you try and sort out, but you still carry on doing whatever you're doing, carrying on with the conversation, and say, well, it'll get published at a later date. So it means that if you do have a live technical issue, that can kill your show. Literally, that's the end of it, basically. Well, no one wants that. Especially if you've got a guest that you've arranged time for. If your live stream fails, you still want to be able to carry on the interview and then just release it at a later date in its entirety. So it's a backup, basically.
Yeah, that's good. Chocolate posted a video from Mitchell from Australia, I guess he goes by, or I can't remember exactly, but it's on the Master B. He did that test with a coin on the table, and he took the coin back, and he had the camera set up level with the table. And he showed how it was disappearing bottom up first, and then finally disappeared, and then he zoomed in with the camera, and the whole coin could be seen at the other end of the table.
Right.
And then it's really, at that point, I said, okay, this is cool. He's doing it with a coin. I've seen this before. But then he went into some illustrations where he explained the Riley criteria. And I thought that was really
Very
cool, because you've talked about that a lot. And he had some nice images to explain that.
That was who?
Mitchell. Let me look it up here. Give me 1 second. It's on Master B, and it was from Chocolate, and it was. It shows a ship and an eyeball, and it was posted at 9:15 p.m. my time last night, and it's right below the picture of Chris Berry standing in line for it.
I've got it.
Got it. Really good video.
Right, let's have a listen.
Mitchell from Australia, and this is yet another simple observation that anyone can do at home. You have a coin and a flat table, and I'm going to demonstrate how we can make an object disappear bottom up without the need of curvature, or without the need of a physical obstruction for that matter. Now you Globers are going to sit at home and say that table is just higher than the observer height or the camera height. Now let's get that sorted quick smart. When we zoom in, we increase the focal length and increase the angular resolution. And we can resolve that coin in its entirety. As you can see, the bottom of the coin shining and when you zoom back out, the coin is unresolvable again. Nice flat table, no physical obstruction. This is all optical. There's absolutely no obstruction here. This is due to angular resolution. The angle from the observer to the coin was far too small to resolve the coin. That we view light, whether it be from your eyeball, a camera, or a telescope. In optics, the best focus spot of light that a perfect lens with a circular aperture can make is called the airy disk. Now, as you can see in this left-hand side, there are 2 points of light and 2 airy disks. They are both resolved. Now, when they get closer together, this meets the Rayleigh criterion, or the diffraction limit. And so the Rayleigh criterion specifies the minimum separation between 2 light sources that may be resolved into each distinct object. And when the light sources get even closer on the right-hand side, they become unresolvable. So relating this to my observation, when the coin is closer to the camera, it is fully resolved. As you start moving the coin away from the camera, it meets the Rayleigh criterion, or the diffraction limit, and this creates a smaller angle, making the coin disappear bottom up.
Excellent. So obviously,
Yeah.
in his picture, he's not pointed out. I mean, he may do later on in the video. I'm just not going to watch the entirety of it now. That obviously, while he's looking at this coin in his diagram, you know, if you take the bottom half of the coin, it's a smaller angle. So obviously, the lower you go in that coin, the lower the angle, and the quicker it reaches the diffraction limit. So you lose the bottom first.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
And yeah, it's good. And then later he takes the coin that's at the back of the table. He zooms in and you see it, and he flips it to flat, so it's laying flat on the table, and you still could see the depth of that coin, as skinny as it is. That's fantastic.
Yeah, very good. I've spammed his link to the video. His name's Michael from Australia, I think.
Is it Mitchell or Michael?
Is it Mitchell? I can't see. My screen resolution is now so good that I
You
can't
got-
read the bloody writing anymore.
Don't tell me you got Rayleigh criteria on your.
Yeah, you're basically right. the angular resolution of the text is now beyond the diffraction limit of my eyeball. Correct.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, it's Mitchell. Mitchell from Australia.
Mitchell. Okay. Well, if you're watching Mitchell, kudos. Great video. I gave it a thumbs up and I've shared it.
Yeah, Adam Meakin gave it a thumbs up. A lot of people that are who have their own YouTube channels were on there giving him thumbs up. It was good to see.
Excellent. Yeah, love it. Not a name
Yeah,
I've
so
heard
they'll
of either. Not someone I'm familiar with.
Yeah, so they'll come on and argue this whole thing with us today and next week. And here's a simple coin on the table that proves everything.
To me, this was like the crux of the debate for the shape of the Earth. And you guys nailed it pretty early on in the debate shows.
Yeah, with a lot of help from people who looked into it far more than I. People like Zachary Zabala, good times for all. I remember the first time him showing me the Aries disc, and he said words to the effect of, "This is going to be the biggest thing in flat Earth." I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "I'll explain." That's how it started for me. So yeah, massive shout outs to Good Times for All, GUDTIMS, then number 4 ALL, GUDTIMS 4 ALL. It's the number 4. Yeah, he's also on Iron Realm. It'll be tonight, but we're recording this in advance, so it'll have been yesterday. For those of you watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, IRM or Iron Realm Media often hosts Zachary Zabala. He's one of the co-hosts.
Yeah, so much of the trickery is just using our limitation with our eyes.
Yeah. Earth curve is just perspective.
Yeah, yesterday I think we touched on or talked about the apparent horizon, right? And where the sky meets the ground, and but it's as far as you can see. So you got convergence happening, and we were talking, and they're saying, "Oh, that's the start of the curve." The globers are saying, "Well, that's where it falls away." And so somebody a week earlier said, "Yeah, okay, if I keep going at that apparent horizon, there's another apparent horizon and another apparent horizon." And the word apparent is not factual, not real. It's just an eye issue. It's just the way things look. It doesn't mean it falls off there, because all you got to do is go up higher with a drone.
Yeah.
The horizon goes up with you. What's going on here?
Another part of the projection in the controlled opposition narrative from the Flat Earth Society. So they would jokingly say, or an attack on their claim or their presentation of their model, is boats going over an edge actually falling off a disc. Well, in reality, that again is kind of psychologically reversing their ineptitude when it comes to the horizon. So they're reifying an edge from an arbitrary position where the sky appears to meet the ground and saying a boat goes over it, whilst the controlled op narrative, Flat Earth Society, have pictures, literally pictures of boats falling off the edge of a disc world. So it's interesting projection on their part. The weakest parts of their argument get projected back onto us via the Flat Earth Society. Hello, Quantum Eraser. I thought that show that you were publishing had Brenda saying, "Yeah, shoe is a phenomena. What's your hypothesis? It's a shoe." I thought that was going to be the show that you put out last night, but it wasn't.
Correct.
Good show, though, nonetheless. Even if I do say so myself.
Did you look at the title?
Something about Brenda. About the
And
null.
altern-
It was about the
and-
null, correct?
Alternative and the null. That was the title.
Right. Obviously, that got covered in detail. For those of you who aren't subscribed to Quantum Eraser or didn't watch yesterday's premiering stream, how dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? How very, very dare you? Yes, the essence of the show is about the way you'd formulate a scientific prediction, otherwise known as hypothesis. And the way science is empirical is by giving you a very closed sort of choice at the end of the hypothesis. I'll say at this stage that a hypothesis that hasn't been actualised, i.e. hasn't gone through the stage of systematic experimentation, is useless. It's a prediction that hasn't ever been actualised, so you don't have a valid cause or an invalid cause, and that's what was being covered. The null gives you the mirror opposite of what you assert in the affirmative. So if your affirmative assertion is A causes B, then your null will be A will not cause B. So at the end of experimentation, you have an empirical result. You will prove or disprove the hypothesis upon actualization. And that's the empiricism that the scientific method offers and is decried by fundamentalist globetards who think they live on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum on account of the fact they don't have any empirical evidence for their religion. So therefore they would declare that science doesn't prove things. Yes, it does. That's its primary purpose, to prove or disprove a scientific prediction, otherwise known as hypothesis. Were your ears burning, Chocolate? You were just being talked about by 10th Man. You didn't know, I don't think 10th Man realised it was you that was being talked about, but it was.
What? Word? What's going on? What does that mean?
I just went to get coffee. What did I walk into?
What were you just
I just had my accelerating coffee.
before?
Oh, thank you very much.
What was the last subject?
Yeah,
I've forgotten myself now, 10th Man, but you were talking about somebody who was discussing something, and it was chocolate. I can remember who, but I can't remember what you were actually talking about.
Yeah, that was, I said Chocolate posted a good video from Mitchell from Australia. And so you put that up on
No.
Oh,
It was something else. You didn't know who you were talking about. You were talking about somebody who brought something up. I'll be kicking myself when I'm watching this back, because obviously I've just heard it. What were we talking about?
Well,
literally?
I talked about Zanuck on the shows all day.
after Zanuck before the video. Oh, don't worry about it.
Or
It's
the-
going to drive me nuts.
Oh, now you're driving me nuts. What did I
Now,
say?
and now it's gonna drive me nuts. That has to do with me. What the hell?
Just have to watch the pre-show.
You got me going now.
When you watch the pre-show later, Chocolate, before you join, flux capacitor working correctly, you'll hear Chocolate talking about, not Chocolate, 10th Man talking about you, but he doesn't know who he's talking about, and it was you. Anyway, you'll pick up.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But it got concluded, so it's not like we needed you to reiterate whatever point was made. It was made eloquently enough by 10th Man, so don't worry about it, but you'll pick up on it in the stream if you watch it later on, or on Saturday. And
How could I make an eloquent point when I can't remember myself?
I can't remember either. So don't worry about it. It's the pre-show, man. It's not important. We don't have to keep track of what we're saying.
Welcome to Wacky Fridays. Gotta love it.
Man.
Allow me to unveil a highly complex topic to the Globetard window lickers. When you falsify or reject the null hypothesis or anything, you ipso facto confirm the antithesis. Okay? Next subject, how to turn a light on Wednesday afternoons.
The antithesis being the null to the alternative. If the alternative says A will cause B, the null says A will not cause B. And at the end of the process, one or other will be validated. And by virtue of validation of the former, you invalidate the latter. If you validate the null, you invalidate the alternative. If you validate the alternative, you invalidate the null. This is how it is offering the empiricism that it does.
When you validate the alternative, because the null is never tested, it all spins around, no pun intended, the alternative hypothesis. If you invalidate the alternative, you validate the null. If you validate the alternative, you reject or falsify the null.
So that's a response to Johnny Glowped, who says, no, science must leave an opening for falsifiability. You must be able to falsify it. Well, no, that's what the null offers, but you don't directly test it not causing the effect. You directly test it causing the effect. The thing that you will be varying and manipulating to cause the effect, hopefully, because obviously you don't know at this stage, the hypothesis stage, it's just a presumption, a presumed cause. Well, you're going to vary that presumed cause to try and cause the effect. As opposed to directly testing the null, what are you going to do? Not vary and manipulate your cause and say you validated it as not being the cause when you haven't checked it is the cause. So you do actually have to vary and manipulate that which you assume causes the effect, and that's testing the alternative. Definitely not testing the contrapositive, not testing the antithesis, as John put it. You're not testing the null. You're not trying to find out that it doesn't cause it. You're trying to prove it does. If you don't, by virtue of your failure, if you want to look at it in those terms, you automatically validate the null because you did not cause the effect when you varied that which you assume caused the effect you're studying.
Let's stress that today on the live show.
Is this off the back of Brenda and her toe tag, or is this another fundy that we're talking about? Because I was just listening to that
general.
show.
No, it's just general. Science doesn't prove things.
Right. That's why I asked, because it's so funny. I was just listening to that, and I exited out because I was like, oh, shit, it's time for me to go over there. I'm like, I just left the part where she's like, well, science doesn't prove things. Science doesn't prove anything, right before you let her you read her the list of everything science has proven.
It's not only her.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I hear it
It
all the
only
time in Discord. I hear it all the time. Science doesn't prove
it
things. Well, when I hear that, I say, wait a minute. So if science doesn't prove things, so there's no scientific proof for your globe, then?
Yeah, that's the best
Hmm.
comeback. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my shit. Don't tell me science doesn't prove things, because then what are we talking about here? Your globe that hasn't been proven scientifically? Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, that's been our point from the beginning.
Exactly. So good looking out.
Mic check.
Hey, good to have you. Yep, that's the turnaround we've seen thanks to Quantum Eraser on this very show. You go from the body of science proves we're on a globe to science doesn't prove things. Why? Why has that happened? Well, because we've gone, okay, let's see your science then. And they've gone, oh, crap. We haven't got any.
Abort. Abort mission.
Just bluff, basically. That's all this is built on. Pseudoscience is just bluff. That's basically
Bluff.
it.
You got it. That's all it is. It's been bluff. Well, we're calling you all in.
No foam.
so they've all this time they've used a bluff capacitor.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have. That's very apt.
Yeah.
They've been bending space-time and bluffing us that they've got science. And as John Paul said, we're calling the globe. We're all in going, yeah, let's see your science. And the reply to that is, science doesn't prove things. It just has room for our just so stories to change. And what they really mean is, we've got pseudoscience and pseudoscience doesn't prove anything. That's what they actually mean, because science definitely proves things.
That's the name of this show. The Bluff. Getting called. All in.
But again, that's why no one wants to admit it on their side. If you're in a card game and some card player bluffs you and you fold, and then just because he's a prick, because he doesn't have to, he turns them over anyway and laughs his head off, you've been had. And nobody wants to feel like a dumb idiot because they've been had. And that's what's happened. You've all been had, globeheads. You've been bluffed by your keepers. You've repeated the bluff and we've called it. You should go to your keepers and tell them how disappointed you are with the nonsense they gave you.
Calling the bluff. That's what it is. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's always good when someone comes on and Q says, wait a minute. And he pulls up the scientific method worksheet and says, okay, what's your observed phenomenon? It's just, where it's going to train wreck.
How many times have we done that on this show for the past, year?
Hey, Paul.
Who's made it through to the end?
Nobody. But Babs did a very good job yesterday, and he even got some comments in the after, in the comment section saying words to the effect. Hey Babs, by the way. He's such a good globehead Poe that I could punch him. Very convincing.
Well, one thing for sure, next time I get dogs, I'll probably get 2 of them, and their name's going to be ipso facto for sure.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Paul. 3 minutes.
3 minutes to call in the bluff.
I'm going to say one of my favorite things right now is this. The Globehead argument of you don't understand is literally blowing up in their faces now. I love it because it's like when I look at chats, it's just you don't understand. The ballers, all they have is you don't understand. You don't understand. They have nothing, and it's beautiful.
Now they're saying you only have a childish view of it. That's what they're saying now. It's just a childish view.
Oh yeah, you're very simple. You're so simple. Yep, you guys are children. You don't understand. Yeah, okay. Still here though. Still haven't answered one of our questions. So there you go.
Hey, can you tell the people in the office to keep it down? Excuse me.
Why don't you help me understand?
Excuse me. Wait, hold on. Relax. Put a cork in it. Chocolate, can you tell the people in the background, in your background, to keep it down a little bit? Thanks.
Excuse me, everybody. My boy over here, John, needs guys to keep it down.
Blonde Eraser, the Globe Terminator brought back from the future says, keep it down now.
Yeah,
Globe Terminator.
You tell your
he's calling for silence.
tell your employer at your slave job, and hopefully you'll keep your employment.
Nah, I'll be all right. They all hear me debate every day. They just look at me like, there he goes. Yep, here I go.
There he goes, calling their bluff.
So long as you're still working, I suppose they don't care, do they, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm completely capable of doing this, destroying the globe and building my machine at the same time.
What an
Very
insult.
good.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do a day job while I'm terminating the globe.
Wait a minute. Did he say, Chocolate say he's building machines and we got QE?
I wouldn't worry about it. They're Chevys he's building, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. As long as it's not Skynet, we're okay.
Yeah, I'm putting together a $50,000 machine right now, so while I destroy the non-existent globe. Yep.
Look.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, how dare you? Then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now this show is going to be a little bit different, as we're going to be calling the bluff of the globe. Joining me on the panel we have in G+, in no particular order, Sleeping Warrior, Righteous Force, Paul, Quantum Eraser, Flatzoid, Chocolate Sane and 10th Man. A big shout out before we even get any hellos to, where's my screen gone? Quick. Colin Turner, so great to be back in the UK and listening to this, says Colin Turner. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. And hello, welcome to Flat Earth Debate, everyone on the panel.
Good afternoon, hello.
The bluff of the globe, Riley.
What's that all about?
The bluff of the globe?
That the globe is a bluff.
That's a very good question. It gives
hard.
me an ample opportunity to brief the live audience about what we were talking about in the pre-show. So we were just discussing some of the ass-backwards nonsense that they come up with from the Flat Earth Society, i.e. when they're talking about their disk flying through a space vacuum, they've typically got this disk with boats falling off it, when in reality the globe model has a reified sphere edge in the form of an arbitrary position where the sky appears to meet the ground, called the horizon, that they have boats going over. So that projection led us on to talking about science based on Quantum Eraser's show yesterday, where he describes the empirical method that is science. And that method, with a null, gives you an empirical result upon actualization of a scientific prediction, otherwise known as hypothesis. Now that actualization and empiricism is something that is sorely lacking, or completely lacking, from the globe. And at the start of Flat Earth Debate, we talked about the body of science proving the globe. Now we're in a position where we're told by fundamentalist religious zealots who think they're on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum that science doesn't prove things. Now, it does prove things, as I just mentioned. It proves or disproves the scientific prediction otherwise known as a hypothesis. It absolutely proves things. The problem for the globehead religiotards is they've been bluffing. They don't have science. They have pseudoscience. And we're calling it. We're calling the globe on their nonsense. They don't have any evidence.
In!
We're all in. Flat Earth is what we have. Obviously and observably flat and motionless. Globeheads claim they had all of science behind them, and they don't have a shred of scientific evidence. It was all a bluff. And you've been had.
Go ahead, knuckle dragging, mouth breathing, window lickers. Turn that do 7 off suit over. We're calling it all in. Show! Show! I don't know. What compels you to fucking overtalk me? Can I ask you that?
He's really keen to tell him about this bluff.
I mean, I'm talking, right? What inside you compels you to speak? I'd like to know that. Please.
John, I was talking to you and you were talking over me.
I'd like to know why John thinks he's got a monopoly of the
Every
mic.
single person on the panel. What compel? I just want to know. Just for my own person. I need to write it down in my fucking memoirs.
I can give you an answer to that. Typically speaking, if someone overtalks
He's a window licker.
it's because you're saying something interesting and they want to tag on to it, or they're enthused by what you're saying and they want to get their words out. You know, so that's why people typically ejaculate.
Ew.
Except me,
Hey,
I provide John with.
I want to tag on too.
Thank you.
I have scientific evidence.
I heard that through the rumblings.
Evidence of gas pressure without a container.
Perfect. Excellent. That's one of the housekeeping questions. How can you have gas pressure without a container? Excellent. Let's hear it.
Oh, but it's a gradient, Nathan. It's a gradient.
No, that's not what he said. He said he's got scientific evidence of gas pressure without a container.
Let's hear it.
And I'm going to walk through the scientific method just to show how this works using an experiment.
Mike's all yours.
But before I do that, I just want to get a few definitions from you so I can make sure that we're on the same page. So could you define gas? I've heard you talk about gas being isotropic, but I just want to hear more about that.
Well, it's more the
isotropic and non-homogeneous.
And isotropic. It's more the inhomogeneous bit that I'm concerned with. It's not a conformed, whatever you want to call it, organized, homogeneous. It's not that. It's completely mixed up.
Hold on a second. He's mixing concepts. First he said, I want your definition of a gas. And then he said, I want your definition of isotropic. No. See, gas pressure is one thing. The atmosphere, even though it's made of gases, is another. So can you get coherent for at least 5 seconds?
Sure.
Thanks.
I should have been more specific with what I wanted to ask for, and that was his definition of what gas is and how it behaves.
Okay, well, just to clear it up, it's not isotropic, it's anisotropic. In other words, it's not equal in all directions. It's not equal in all directions. Anisotropic.
Right, okay.
Inhomogeneous.
Another thing that I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I think I cut you off.
No, I was just going to reiterate something I'd already said about homogeneous versus inhomogeneous, but I've already covered it, so go ahead.
But you also didn't get into his first question, which was gas and its properties and the definition of how it acts.
Okay, it moves freely and randomly. Moves freely and randomly in all directions at high speed. There you go. That's gas behavior.
Yeah, we can't allow you to talk, John. You know that.
Look, don't piss John off, right? I can do without it.
Sorry.
He did.
Since it's scientific, can we move on to that?
Flatzoid's doing it deliberately. I know he is. Come on. Don't rumpus babs either. Go on, Babs.
You did provide an answer for me about gas and its nature by saying that it's inhomogeneous and isotropic.
Yeah, anisotropic.
So that did sort of define
There's a difference,
what gas is for me.
You're all rumpusing in.
There's a difference.
Look, eventually we might get to the scientific evidence of gas pressure without a container if we let him get on. Go ahead, Babs.
Well, we might get a coherent question. He has yet to ask one.
No, he's presenting his evidence of gas pressure.
I'm not asking a question. I'm just presenting, evidence. I'm asking these questions just to make sure we're on the same page.
Oh my God! So you're not asking questions, but you just asked us, right? That's. Are you a balltard?
It's fine.
Yeah.
This is an application of the Socratic method. He's just reaching terms with this. That's perfectly reasonable.
He hasn't.
They're rumpusing me, Nathan.
If you're already going to get excited, you're never going to get to it.
Oh my God!
I'm getting triggered right now because
This is great.
I'm getting triggered because I'm getting rumpus so much right now.
Okay, right. I'll try and stop laughing. Go ahead, Babs.
So I'm not allowed to ask questions before we get into the experiment. I just want to know whether I can do that or not.
We've reached terms. I think we've
Can I
reached
ask
terms.
questions?
We're all good.
Okay. So the second step in John's presentation of the scientific method asks for an alternative hypothesis, and the third asks for a null hypothesis. I just wanted to know what these are before I get into the experiment.
Listen,
Babs.
He just won't do it.
Do you hear us speaking, Babs?
Yeah, but do you hear Nathan?
No,
because
you're
Nathan
all
was giving
talking.
Babs room
You're
to talk.
all talking while Babs is talking. So, no, he can't hear
Oh
you.
my God!
He's trying to make a point. No one's listening because you're all talking.
Where is this? Okay, hold on a second, Nathan. 1 second, please.
What? He's asking what the difference between the alternative and the null is.
He didn't. He asked you to define what a gas is.
He's trying to make his case. You keep interrupting him.
Yeah, we're already past that point. He already defined what a gas is.
Okay.
Now we're on to the next point.
Oh my God.
Let him make
Just
his
go
point.
ahead. Just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what's the alternative hypothesis? What's that?
Your affirmative claim with an assumed cause of the effects that you observe at step 1 of the method. So you have a phenomena, your dependent variable, you have control variables, which to the best of your ability you will hold constant, and you have an independent variable, presumed cause of the effect. The null is the mirror opposite, where your presumed cause, independent variable, causes the effect in the alternative hypothesis, if A, then B. In the null, it's the contrapositive. If A, not B.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so let's get into the experiment right now. So my hypothesis is that you do not require a container in order to have gas pressure. You only require specific conditions for that to happen.
Based on what?
So
that's not a hypothesis. What's the dependent variable?
What did you observe?
We just detailed what a hypothesis was. That wasn't it. What was the phenomena you were observing? In fact, why am I even doing
Observing
this? Why am I
pressure.
stealing John's thunder? This is not my bag. This is something I've been taught by John, and he's here. So we'll just get it down. If John's prepared to do that, if he's happy, probably not, given the amount of rumpusing he suffered today. We'll see.
I'm not doing it.
Fair enough. What's your dependent variable in this hypothesis? What's the phenomena we're observing, first of all, as that's step 1 in this method?
Okay, so the phenomena that we're observing is pressure.
Can you show me
Atmospheric
that?
pressure.
Okay, show me that. Where do I observe pressure?
In our atmosphere.
Okay.
Do we not observe
actually
pressure in our
pressure,
atmosphere?
Babs?
In
You
the
actually
true sense of
see
the word,
pressure?
well, no, I'm not really looking at pressure now. I can't. not looking at it. I'm not observing it. You have to explain it in greater detail so I can understand the physicality that you're describing, and then we'll get on to how you're going to manipulate that by way of independent variable, i.e. cause.
Well, of course you can't see pressure with your naked eyes, but you can use tools to measure pressure.
Okay. So you're claiming this is a natural phenomena. Natural phenomena, pressure.
Are you denying gas pressure?
Hold on. Is that something that's happening? We observe this as an occurrence or as a concrete noun?
Yes, we do. We observe pressure occurring in our atmosphere.
So at some point there's no pressure, then suddenly there's pressure. That's the occurrence. I don't ever remember them not being pressure, then being pressure, i.e. the phenomena of pressure. That isn't something that's occurred to me ever. Maybe it's a concrete noun. I don't know.
What you're saying is that this phenomenon has to have a start and end point. So it can't just be something that's continuously taking place in the natural world.
It seems like a concrete noun would be a tree. It's just a tree. It's not doing anything. It's just a tree. Now you could argue that the phenomena of it growing is a phenomena, or the phenomena of the leaves falling off it is a phenomena, but a tree is a concrete noun. It's not doing anything. Nothing's happening. A phenomena is something occurring.
So pressure is not something that's happening, occurring? Because it's not the same as a tree or a concrete noun. It's something that's actually taking place.
It's already taken place.
And changing.
It's already taken place, though, hasn't it? Okay. There we go. Hold on. There we go. You said something's changing. What's changing?
The pressure changes just depending on where you're measuring it from. So, for example, if you're at higher altitude, the pressure is going to be different than when you're in lower altitude.
Okay, so you're not actually changing anything. You're just moving.
Well, we haven't found out if that's what he's asserting.
But Babs, are you not using that?
Hold on. Are you asserting that the location is your independent variable then? Is that your full hypothesis? If location, then pressure differential? Is that your hypothesis? Because this doesn't prove gas pressure without a container if it is.
No, my dependent variable is pressure and the independent variable is gas. You can manipulate gas.
If gas, then pressure?
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, think about that again real quick, Babs.
No, according to gas law...
I am thinking about it.
Well, according to gas
Are you
law,
trying to separate gas from pressure?
You'd need a volume to have the pressure. It's the V in gas law.
Yes, you would.
So, no, if gas,
you would need
then
a volume to have the pressure.
Is incorrect. You'd also need a container.
So what causes pressure then?
The necessary
antecedent.
gas that
causes pressure?
Well, then I'm trying to tell you, the necessary antecedent, that V in gas law, the volume of the container. So if it's not got anything to press on, it's not going to have pressure.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Well, then we haven't got a scientific evidence of gas pressure without a container.
I haven't even gotten to propose what the experiment is yet.
We don't need
I may have malformed
Babs,
a lot of...
Babs.
That, can we get on with it, maybe?
The experiment is the actualization of the hypothesis, and so far as I can ascertain, the hypothesis is if location, then gas pressure, which has then been substituted, because if you just say if gas, then pressure, A, that's not correct, and B, you don't have a phenomena. You're just observing something that's a concrete noun. You moving might give you a differential. You're asserting that maybe weather rolling in might cause your ears to pop, i.e. pressure differential, but you're not asserting that. I'm giving you, hopefully so we can draw a close to this, but at no stage are we proving that you don't need a container.
So the problem is that I have a malformed hypothesis, so why don't I go into that and come up with a better hypothesis, perhaps?
Well, you don't need... No. You don't start with a hypothesis. you start with the phenomena. So what's the phenomena you're observing? That's step one. And then what you're trying to do in the hypothesis is establish what you presume causes the phenomena you've observed. So you don't start with hypothesis, that's step two. Step one, observe natural phenomena, which you could almost wangle with this, just about.
Okay. So the dependent variable, or the natural phenomenon that I'm observing, is gas pressure.
Gas pressure changing, or just gas pressure? Because again, we're back to square one where I'm saying, what's this phenomena exactly? What's happening? The fact we have gas pressure is not something occurring, is it? Nothing's happening right now, and there's gas pressure here. So there's no phenomena.
We're observing gas pressure changing.
Right. And what's the cause of gas pressure changing exactly?
Concentration of the gas within a given volume.
So this still doesn't prove containerless gas then?
Yeah, you negated that by saying the volume.
Okay.
That's because I haven't gotten into the experiment part yet to describe how you can have.
Shut up.
This is kind of nonsense now, Babs. I mean, we can go round and round in circles.
The entire exercise, everything he stated, is non sequitur. It's. What did he just say? The cause of gas pressure gradients was concentration. Let's think about that. The cause of gas pressure gradients is concentration. Really? What is the cause of yellow? Color? Oh, man.
You're right, John. That's the cause of color.
The cause of yellow is light.
I don't think he was looking for an affirmation of that declaration, to be honest. But thanks anyway, SX.
I know.
Well, if you would just watch my...
I'm muted right now.
You can see it, but I'm actually reducing the pressure by reducing the temperature, but there's still a lot of stuff in there. So the amount of stuff...
Bab, you could have said that your observed phenomena was a bag inflated, not de-inflated as you were going up in the mountain or a hill. Then you were trying to find out the cause of that. And that way you can insert the pressure.
Well,
then you can manipulate. Then you can manipulate your
cause
pressure.
and effect
Start
with what is
manipulating.
questions. It's
SX.
He's confusing cause and effect with what is questions, people. Do you guys live around power lines? Seriously.
Am I muted right now? Like, can no one hear what I'm saying right now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I do hear you.
Can you hear yourself?
I'm getting rumpus.
You're not getting
Right
rumpused. You're not getting rumpused. It's been pointed out that you're asking a what is question, and science is interested in cause and effect relationships.
But I haven't asked any questions right now. I was trying to make a point, and they're not letting me make a point.
You've made your point.
Put me to sleep.
But you started off by saying that you had scientific evidence of gas pressure without a container, but you don't have that. So what do you want? Not endless circles talking about how you'll formulate a potential scientific prediction that you haven't actualized because you haven't even formulated the hypothesis. And when we get to that, I'm having to point out that you haven't even got step one when you're trying to formulate this hypothesis, and you've got an objective of proving gas pressure without a container as opposed to a natural phenomena that you're studying. It's a cluster screw.
I can prove my point. It's just that I can't get past some of the malformed issues that have come up in the scientific method that I've presented to you. But I do have a point that I'm trying to make here. Wait, I can't make my point. Awesome. Go ahead, Arwen.
Yeah, but Arwen, that's what he's trying to work out. That what he's trying to formulate can't be formulated into the scientific method the way he's choosing to. That's what he's trying to...
Right.
I think,
Well,
accomplish. I'm not sure.
You don't have a choice
demonstration real
how
quick.
you're
I
going
just
to
get like
formulate
1
it.
minute to
You
make.
have to abide by the scientific method.
I just get 1 minute to make a quick demonstration. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Okay. If you see what Paul is presenting on screen right now, in that example, you have a container that's sealed and a pump that is pumping gas into that container. If you open that container, the gas is going to leave that container to fill the available volume since it's not contained anymore. However, if you're continually pumping gas into that container, the gas that's leaving the container is going to be replaced by the gas that you're pumping into it.
Oh, really?
Is that not what's going to happen?
So there's an amount of gas pressure being.
Wait. Is he getting? I want to know if he's getting to a point.
That is sufficient
I'll win.
to provide for the escaping air due to second law of thermodynamics from the atmosphere. There's enough gas pressure being generated at the surface of the Earth to compensate for that. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, that's what he's suggesting.
Wow.
Just a quick
That's
question,
what I'm
Babs.
suggesting, yeah.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, it is a lot of gas. But just a quick question, Babs. You see this example that Paul's got up now. If this was analogous to Earth, would it have the sides?
No, it wouldn't, because Earth doesn't have sides.
So once the gas comes out of the pipe, it's effectively directly attached to the volume of the alleged sky vacuum, right?
Could you repeat that? I dropped out.
So given that there's no sides, there's no... He's just bullshitting, isn't he? He said, I dropped out. Right.
I really did.
Well, no, you broke up there, Nathan. That's all.
Okay, fine.
You did broke out there.
I'm
right
on
there,
mute.
Nathan.
Okay,
Who's
fine.
it? Hold on a second.
I'll get him just by
Grim
my
V,
side now.
Mr. Plasmoid. We'll get to your dumb ass here in a few seconds.
Hey, don't interrupt the conversation, my man. I was just letting Nathan know he
I will
actually broke up a
personally.
little bit.
Don't
Okie
overtalk me, you clown.
Please don't
we'll get
interrupt.
to you here in a minute. You just hang on.
Okie doke.
I love Friday.
So, given that the heliocentric sphere Earth in a vacuum model doesn't have any sides, effectively we could just remove them and have this pipe directly pumping air into a vast vacuum, right?
That's a wrong example, Nathan. You will have to put pipes all over the ball.
I'd have to put what?
Exactly,
circle.
SX.
I didn't hear that. Say that again. SX.
Yeah, you were doing it wrong, Nathan. So for this example, you gotta put pipes all over the circle, pumping air out constantly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pretend there's 20 million pumps, and each and every single one of them is attached to an alleged never-ending, expanding vacuum. Do you think that because we've got 10 million of these pumps now, in fact, let's make it 400 billion of these bicycle pumps versus the never-ending vacuum of the alleged sky vacuum while the rumpusing begins? So I couldn't give a crap how many of these pumps you put in direct contact with a never-ending 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum. They're never going to accumulate on the bottom line. They'll just disperse instantaneously into the sky vacuum that's alleged to be there, regardless of how many pumps there are. Do you not know how entropy works? Second law of thermodynamics, the gas would fill the available volume instantaneously. No, clearly they don't. They think that by having lots of pumps, that sky vacuum won't affect it, and suddenly it can all accumulate at the bottom. No, it just fills the volume.
That's not what I'm suggesting at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm suggesting that if the gas is continuously being produced at ground level, and it travels upward, the gas is going to disperse into the available volume. However, if it's continuously being produced at ground level, isn't it just going to be replaced?
We would never have any pressure because it would never be pressing on anything.
So in Paul's demonstration, right, with the container that's open at the top, would you not be able to measure pressure in that open container that's different from the pressure on the outside.
Really? So you see on this, I'll just highlight one particular area, out here-ish, where there's 0 molecules. What's the pressure there?
It's going to be less than inside that container that has more molecules.
So what? You're saying that given that we've got in this example, couple of inch space, whereas in the reification of a globe model, they've got a never-ending vacuum for the gas to disperse into, you believe that... Go on.
To be specific, it's 3.58 times 10 to the negative 80 or 10 to 80th cubic meters. Also, what's your surface area of the Earth?
Just before we get to that, I'm just going to shout out, Julio Pabon, if I pump air into a tyre with a puncture in it, the tyre will never fill, nor will it ever keep a constant pressure. Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Julio Pabon. Really appreciate your support. Not technically true. You can pump a tyre up that's got a slow puncture and it will potentially maintain a certain degree of pressure for a prolonged period until the slow puncture takes effect. But thank you for the super chat anyway.
All right. You can't really compare
At the surface
to the atmosphere, supposedly.
The surface area...
Go on, Babs. There's another
surface area of Earth is 510.1 million kilometers squared.
Really? Can you confirm that for us?
Can I confirm that for you?
Interesting.
Yeah, well, you just said it. Friggin' confirm it. Validate it. Show us.
Shout out to Flat Ball, who says, Rumpy is utter thick. Thanks for the super chat, Flat Ball.
I can't confirm that because the globe is a reification fallacy. It's not real. I'm just going by what is claimed.
So, where's your hypothesis at? Listen, if we give you the natural phenomena of gas pressure, right, then you could possibly put this into the scientific method if we gave you that one, right? But it isn't going to prove your point. You're never going to come up with a hypothesis that proves your point. Let's just give it to him, Nathan. Let's just give him that, hey, gas pressure is the natural phenomena. Okay, what's your hypothesis?
My hypothesis is that pressure in the atmosphere is caused by the concentration of gas in the atmosphere.
Oh my. Okay.
No, not okay.
I'm not. Go. He's not finished yet. Go ahead, Nathan. Go ahead.
I was just going to say you don't get gas pressure from the atmosphere. That's not what gives you gas pressure. The collisions with the walls of the container. This atmosphere creating pressure bollocks is just from the heliocentric reification fallacy, where they don't have a container and assert atmospheric pressure like that's suddenly a magical V, when in reality they've just got the Kármán line, an arbitrary position where they say, oh yeah, that's where the gas goes to. That's the limit. That's about how much gas we've got. Well, no, you need that V. You need the volume of a container.
All he's
you measure gas pressure using. When you measure gas pressure using a barometer,
I'm going to shut him up. All he's doing is a circle jerk. He's doing this is his game. We have gas pressure without a container because I walk outside. That's what this is. Do you guys get it? Yes? No? Maybe? And then we can move on to Grim B, who I'm going to tear a new asshole here in a second.
Okay, before we do that.
Hang on, I get it. Let's move on.
Dude, you can quit posturing right now because you're not that smart.
Can we move on right now?
I think
Nathan?
so. I'm happy to.
Wait, let me ask you something.
We were going round in circles. It got reiterated by you. I'm happy to move on.
I
just got a quick question.
Oh my God.
Fine, go ahead.
Don't start off antagonistic and acting like a dickhead either. There's no sense in it.
He's not showing the Discord people in his stream.
Not what?
You're not showing the Discord people in your stream.
Ah, okay. Go ahead, John.
Oh my God. Okay, Grim V. Do we want to start with plasmoids, or are you going to parrot that tattooed knucklehead, Ken Wheeler, concerning.
Do you have a real question, or are you just going to sit there and be antagonistic?
Single slit diffraction. Which we're going to go for first?
Do you have a real question, or do you just want to be an antagonistic dude all day?
Let's go with your friggin' plasmoid, you friggin'
Why don't you grow up a little bit and talk to me like an adult for a second?
Share my screen, Nathan.
You're screaming so loud that your computer's not picking up all your audio.
Share my
You should
screen,
probably
Nathan.
calm down a bit.
Yeah, I have done.
So Grim V,
I hear him just fine.
So Grim V, him and his plasmoid, right? And he settles
magnetic
everyone
entity.
to his little wiki definition of a plasmoid. See, his idea is that gas pressure is contained by plasmoids. Did you read this, you friggin' knucklehead?
Why don't you ask me what my idea is?
I'll tell you what. I'll go
nobody
ahead and
knows
read it
what
for
his
you.
idea
It's down
is.
here. It says plasmoid characteristics. You ready? I'm going to highlight it for you. You ready? A plasmoid has an external pressure stemming from both the gas pressure of the plasma and the magnetic pressure of the field. To maintain an approximately static plasmoid radius, the pressure must be balanced by an external confining pressure. In a field-free vacuum, for example, a plasmoid, here's the important part. A plasmoid will rapidly expand and dissipate.
Right. Except for the Earth is being fed continuously, so it's not all by itself. It's not isolated. It's being fed continuously. Charged particles from the sun light up the aurora. That's obvious evidence of it being fed continuously.
The Earth is
I don't know why you think you're laughing or what your gotcha moment is,
Does
because you
it
don't
answer
understand
the
what you're talking
question?
about.
What the hell?
Hold on. Can I
Yes,
just-
it does, QE.
I want to hear Grim V's response.
Yeah. So in the case of the environment that we're in, it's not alone and isolated, as you said. So it wouldn't be expected to dissipate. It's actually being fed, and it's there because of its causative electric currents. So it's an electric current causing it.
Okay, so you're saying it's an electric current that causes it. Causes what?
Yeah. So you wouldn't necessarily need it to be what they're calling gravity.
Guys, hello, guys in the G plus, for the love of God.
But this
Can
works
you
for
just
a flat Earth,
hold on a second,
though.
Grim V?
This would work.
Hold
Yeah,
on, just 1 second. Can you not just listen to what he's actually saying? None of you can hear what he's saying, can you?
What do you mean none of us can hear what he's saying?
You're
I heard what he
talking-
said.
This could work
You
on
didn't
Well,
answer
he's
my
talking.
question.
Work on a flat Earth, though.
You're talking while he's
It could be
talking.
the reason for
Grim,
atmosphere on a
Grim,
flat
you're not
Earth,
helping.
not gravity.
Grim,
It's actually helping the flat Earth
Grim,
argument.
Grim, you're
Yeah,
not
but-
helping.
yeah.
Grim,
What's
I'm
up,
trying
man?
to get control of the situation, and you're not helping. I'm doing it on
I'm
your
not- I
behalf.
don't need to, sorry.
Are you so dumb that you don't realise when I'm trying to help you? Thank you.
Sorry, no, I got an earphone problem and a delay, I guess.
There is no delay. Don't start that crap. So, panel, you just need to actually listen to what he's saying. Even if you already know it and have already addressed it in your mind, the audience doesn't know what he's got to say. They might not even know who he is.
I listened to what he said, Nathan. He didn't answer my friggin' question.
I wasn't even sure what his question was, to be honest. I thought it was a
You
statement
have-
that he was making.
You have said that gas pressure can be contained within the atmosphere by plasmoids, Grim V.
That's right, I did, but it was a little bit different than that. I said atmospheric pressure can be contained without gravity, but you almost had it.
No. You said plasmoids. I heard you on a number of occasions say plasmoids.
That's right.
I just pummeled that into the incoherent oblivion with your own stupid citation.
You did?
How you did that?
You did?
How
just,
you did that,
by
John?
going la la la, blah blah blah, and you did?
No!
By bringing it up.
Wait. No, wait. So, in that instance, you didn't listen to what he said, Grim. I watched your mic line dancing up and down while he was reading out the citation. He didn't go la la la. Grim, that's what you did. That's why you didn't hear him.
Yeah, but what he said when he was reading did not negate what I said.
You
anything
talked
to
through
do with
him.
my idea.
You talked through it.
Right.
You didn't hear it.
All right. He said must be contained by an outside pressure. And the pressure is a magnetic pressure, which it is contained by. And that's what I said. It's not just one layer of magnetics out there. It's layer upon layer upon layer. This is what we have in our atmosphere. And this is in a laboratory experiment what we have when we see without gravity. It holds it against gravity. So on Earth, in a laboratory experiment, the gas and the matter get pressed towards the center of the plasmoid, even in Earth's gravity. So that's what I'm trying to say. So this is a stronger force than gravity. So of course,
where
it
does
could
the
also
gas
be
pressure
the
Oh
mechanism.
my God! What is
gas.
your issue? Can't you just let him get to the end of his statement?
I thought he was done.
While he's still bloody talking? No, he's not done. He's still in the middle of a sentence, Arwin.
So what I'm trying to say is basically when the ballers say that only gravity can be the only answer for why air pressure is held down to Earth, flat or round, they're wrong. It could be because of magnetism, flat or round. So I don't know why they get so triggered when I talk about this stuff, acting as if it's not something that helps their cause. It's against the ballers, the standard baller notion, and for the flat Earth notion. I don't understand what the big problem is for me saying it.
Nathan, can he get back on topic, please? He said
that is exactly on topic.
No, Arwin will not let you, John, to answer that question. Arwin started talking. Grim then took that as an opportunity to carry on.
I asked the question if I could respond.
But this is John's point.
Can he please answer my question or answer the rebuttal against his train wreck belly laughing claim?
Go ahead, Grim.
Wait, maybe I don't hear somebody. There's somebody in the conversation I don't hear.
It's on screen in the live stream. Obviously, you're in Discord. You'll have to go to the live stream. Please mute it if you do so. Maybe if you could reiterate your point, John.
Yes. Grim V has said on multiple occasions that the container, you don't need a container for gas pressure. All you need is a plasmoid. And you had all these knuckle draggers from Jose's stream parroting this nonsense, right? Remember we talked about this. That grody toady knucklehead was parroting this plasmoid stuff, right? Remember that day I brought it up? Well, he showed everyone from this citation, Wiki, and Wiki, right? And I just showed you a plasmoid will rapidly expand and dissipate in a field-free vacuum.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Without, if there's not another pressure, then yeah, you're right. Except there is another pressure. In all the models. In all models. Right. So why are you thinking you're standing on some winning point when you're actually in the middle of a turd?
What are the pressure?
Are
What
you
are the
freaking
pressure?
on drugs?
Look, the question's been repeated by Quantum Eraser. What are the pressure?
Yeah, I don't. There's somebody talking to me and I don't hear them, I guess.
What other pressure?
He said what? He said
This is
what
the
other
truth.
pressure?
Nobody can hear any of your questions. You said whatever. That's the only thing anybody over here heard.
I don't hear.
Okay, when people say that every day, it's probably true.
Grim, he said
You're sitting there making fun of me because I can't hear you, and that's weird.
Well, SX heard him, apparently, because he just tried to tell you what he said. So SX could hear, but you can't.
So, do you want me to try again? Can you hear me?
Do I need
Over?
to come back and leave and come back so I can hear everybody or something? Because I don't hear everybody, obviously. And you keep asking me to answer the question, but I don't know what the question even is.
Check. And maybe Arwin will rumpus the crap out of me. Can you hear me, Grim
So
V?
you're not in the live stream.
Earth
I
to
hear
Grim
you, Nathan.
V. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Nathan.
What
Only
other pressure that you mentioned only 60 seconds ago are you referring
magnetic
to?
pressure. What remember when I said it's layer upon layer? You have the magnetosphere, the plasmasphere, the F1, the F2, the F3, the F4 layers. Well, those are the layers. So after the second layer, you have another layer of magnetic pressure. The first layer is caused by the electric current. That's what holds it in. So it doesn't dissipate because it's held in by the actual current. The electric current itself induces the magnetic field. That's what happens in an electric system. When you have a current going one direction, you have a magnetic field created at the same time going the other direction because of the current. So the reason for the first magnetic pressure isn't dissipating is because it's still being generated by the electric current. The internal magnetic pressures then, once the outside current holds for the second current magnetic field, and the second magnetic field doesn't just dissipate, and it can hold a gas pressure. And it's been shown in the laboratory that plasmoids have their own internal gas pressure. So there you go.
So
it's not something he can just magically say, that's funny, that doesn't make sense, because it makes perfect sense.
I see. So the pressure of the magnetic field above it is containing it by virtue of its creation of gas pressure. What about at the top?
Part of it.
What the hell is he
Because it's actually a stream of plasma. There's no top.
What the hell are you talking about? Are you going to show
Why does
these
he keep
F1,
yelling
F2,
and acting
F3
like
levels
this?
and your magnetic pressure? It was a jumbled mess of word salad. Do you have any evidence of this?
Wow, you're more interesting.
Do you have any evidence of this Narnia guy?
Nathan, I would really like to address the argument now.
He's in the middle of a discussion with him, Arwin. What is your malfunction? He's literally in the middle of a conversation with him.
There is a malfunction in the conversation because it's completely pointless.
What? It's not you having the conversation, Arwin, but you're desperate for it to be you. Can you not just let them have a discourse back and forth? The question on the table.
Actually, I don't mind if Arwin asks a question.
I'm sure it would help. The question on the table.
Well, I feel like he's dying off over there anyway. The other dude, he doesn't have much else to say except, insults and stuff. So that's not very interesting.
He's just put a question on the table. He's just put a question on the table.
Yeah, is there another question? Because
I'm trying to say, you just keep talking through me. If you can shut up long enough, maybe you'll be able to hear. Maybe that's the audio issue that you're having. You're doing it again, Grim V. You're talking while I'm talking. That's why you can't hear me. I'll repeat. You're talking again, Triggered Fundy. So I'll try again. His question, if you'll allow it to be repeated, it seems you need to obfuscate the questions being repeated. Maybe claim there's an audio issue as you talk through. Why are you trying to stop this question? Is it a devastating question?
No, it's a silent question because I'm not hearing it. God damn it!
You just need to shut up. So, the question on the table is: do you have any evidence to back this assertion with all these numbers of magnetic waves? That was the question on the table.
Do you think you could understand them if I handed them to you, Nathan?
Oh, we don't understand now.
So
I'm asking Nathan if just
let me get this straight, Grim. You're saying I'm not going to give you any cowbell because I question whether or not you'd understand it.
Yeah, because I don't understand it, Matt.
Just give it me. We'll worry about whether or not I understand it when I rip it to pieces. Have you got any cowbell, Grim V? Let's not concern ourselves with my comprehension level. Let's worry about whether or not you've got any cowbell for the horse crap that you just asserted. Go!
What do? Practice your rude insult?
Time for ad homs. I'm asking him to back his assertion. This is a debate. We're asking for a point that you have made to be validated with evidence, and you're ad homing me.
Oh my God, you're a victim after you telling me.
Now he's telling me I'm a victim. Third repetition, we want you to provide cowbell. This is a debate. The issue on the table is what I am talking about. You're talking about me playing victim. Let's just get it clear what's going on here. Grim's losing.
A little too hard, Nathan.
Grim's losing.
Yeah, you're acting sort of...
Now he's rumpusing me, not listening to anything that's being said.
Well, yeah, so it's an obvious... There's I don't know.
There's a stuttering moron who can't provide us with any cowbell. That's what's happening here. I'm not ad homing you. I'm describing the fact that you've not provided support for your claim.
You mean I've not supplied...
You stuttering moron, just give us the cowbell. You talked about these magnetic fields lying on top of each other. Now give us support.
Fine, here, dude. Why don't you ask for it kindly the first time instead of being a
Suck my balls. Give us your support, you fundy moron.
Sapphire project, all right? It's
Give
not
us
that big
your
a deal.
support, you fundy dick. I'll ask however I like. Whether or not you demonstrate to my audience that you can support your bullshit claim is a different matter. Whether or not I ask with sugar on top is irrelevant. You'll either provide us with your cowbell or you won't.
Come on, plasmoid boy.
And I just said if you wait about 10 seconds, you'll get it. And you kept on talking shit the whole
Yeah, man, I think I'll time it with total silence.
and figure it out either.
Yeah, you
don't
seem
need
to have talked. What I did, though, Grim, was demonstrate that there was an admirable 10-second silence. You chose to talk shit through it. No one heard your shit, but they knew you got 10 seconds to go and provide your cowbell. You just chose not to take it. Okay?
Then what the fuck is that?
Time for the swearing to come through, isn't it? You don't have any support for your bullshit, do you, Grim?
Provided you a video of the double layers upon layers, didn't I?
No.
You're not going to click on it? You're just going to talk shit?
You haven't told me where anything is. You're just now claiming that you've done it already. Presumably because you did it in the last 10 seconds. Let's have a look.
About time.
About time? You've just talked shit for the last 10 minutes.
Didn't you?
We have a timestamp.
Yeah. 11 minutes and 31 seconds.
Thank you very much. Got there in the end. This is a graphical depiction.
No, it's an actual
What the hell
experiment.
is this?
This is electricity
Math.
visible
It's math.
in plasma.
Sorry, can you make it full screen, please, John? Okay, tell us what we're looking at.
Double layers. In this case, it looks like 9 layers or something, right? But it's what we call double layers. So there's that.
What?
Oh, what?
There's a laboratory experiment of the double layers, like you asked for.
Oh God, he's a.
Oh my god.
It's alright, he just keeps saying it. You're being asked double layers of what?
Plasma.
So there's double layers of plasma in our atmosphere?
Yes.
Okay, show us.
Above our atmosphere, that holds our atmosphere in
But he
too.
doesn't want you to repeat the claim.
It's called the plasmasphere and the magnetosphere, the F1 layer, the F2 layer, the F3 layer, and now the F4 layer has
Yes,
been.
we heard you. We heard. Hold on, John. We heard it the first time. We got to this stage last time. Then we asked you to support that assertion.
Yeah, and I did.
No, this isn't showing the F4, F5, F6 layers. This is a picture of a ball with some squiggly lines above it. This is definitely not a demonstration of what's going on in our atmosphere. It looks like some graphs and some dots. So your assertion is that's what happens in our atmosphere. Maybe you didn't understand the assertion that you made yourself. You're saying that's what happens in the atmosphere. These layers, these plasma layers. We'd like you to show us that.
Is this the Earth?
Oh, okay. So now we've moved it from them existing at all, even in the laboratory, to showing you that they're on Earth, right?
Yeah, that's your claim, you complete batshit crazy idiot. That's what you're claiming.
Which I can also...
Don't stutter. That's what you're claiming. You just made it explicitly clear that's what happens in our atmosphere. What? Is this going to be declared as the on-the-spot fallacy because we're asking you to back your claim? Yeah. You've said that what happens on that small scale is what happens in our atmosphere. Plasma layers. We're saying, show us that horse shit.
It's a mechanism.
Don't tell us! Show us!
It's a mechanism.
Show us!
Oh my God, dude.
You stupid dick! Are you deaf?
Man, I wish you were.
Show us your fundy claim! Don't repeat it!
Seriously, come a little closer.
Don't chuckle at me, you stupid dick! You've made a claim, a baseless assertion, and shown us a dot on a video. And you want us to believe that what you assert about the entire atmosphere is true because you say so?
No, we got to take one point of the conversation at a time, okay?
Yeah, let's attack the bit where you show us the shit that you claim.
Finish my sentence, Nathan.
Yeah, show us the shit that you claim. Let's focus on that. You've claimed that this bullshit on this video happens in our entire atmosphere. Now show us it.
Nathan, and let somebody talk. Since you're so interested in hearing yourself, I want you to give it a rest, dude. All right, the
benefit of the audience, I'll now stick myself on mute for the next 30 seconds. Let's see if we get a backing for his bullshit claim or not.
What the fuck are you talking over me still, dude? What the fuck's wrong with you? Anyway, the first claim was to even prove that they exist in the first place. Now that's all I'm showing evidence for. Now the second one, the new goalpost, is for me to show you over the earth that they exist. I haven't had time to look for that yet. So
then shut the fuck up with your stupid bastard claims about things that don't fucking apply to Earth. Don't tell me that this is the M5, M6, C5, C6 bullshit string of numbers that apply to our Earth when you haven't proved it. It's a baseless assertion, you stupid idiot.
Wow, and this is what...
Yeah, wow! You're a moron with a baseless assertion that you cannot prove. You think that you can just apply that to our entire world? You idiot!
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Well done, we finally got some coherent sense out of you. You are indeed an idiot to assert that this happens over the entire atmosphere. That's your baseless assertion that you were being asked to back. We've had 20 minutes of complete horse crap. No cowbell.
People watch this shit, they're fucking laughing at me.
Yeah. Now you play the victim. Yeah, is it time for you to play the victim? Is it Grim?
Can I
Do I need to play a victim or just...
Bleat for me, you little bitch. Tell me how you having your ass handed to is somehow derogatory to the audience watching you being obliterated. Bleat for me, you little fundy bitch.
You've only called me every name in the book.
Yeah, bleat for me. Bleat for me now. Tell me how the audience shouldn't be watching. You have your ass handed to you.
Anymore? That's your tactic, dude. Get us away from topic. You're skating right now.
Grim V. Hey, you know what happened if the Earth was
I wouldn't stick up for Nathan for 1 second if I was you,
Everybody would instantly die. You know why? Because what you're actually showing us is plasmoid. You know what plasmoids aren't? Gas. Specifically not gas. It's plasmoid. It's not gas. It's not our
ionized gas. Plasma is
we know what plasma
ionized
is.
gas. His first claim was that plasmoids hold gas pressure onto the Earth. That was his claim. That was the original claim. Where is this plasmoid? I already showed you that they dissipate in a field-free vacuum. Did you read this? See, read this part.
Yeah, but Earth's not sitting in a field-free vacuum, dipshit.
Oh, that's not.
No, it's not. It's in an electric current.
Where is it sitting?
It's sitting in a fucking solar wind. The solar wind is a current. It's a plasma sheet going in one direction. It's called a current, dude.
Really?
Live it and love it.
Gas.
Hold on, Arwen. We want to see the plasmoid surrounding the Earth.
Yeah, and by the way, plasmoids...
No, the question on the table is we want to see the plasmoid surrounding the Earth. Let's see if he just completely obfuscates, ignores, and doesn't provide any cowbell again.
Nathan, that makes no sense that you're talking right now.
Well, I'm asking the same question John asked. Show us the plasmoids around Earth, another baseless assertion that you've just made. Let's see if we get an endless stream of nonsense rather than some cowbell to back that claim that you've just made. I'm going to declare immediately that it's a baseless assertion. And your claim that we're surrounded by plasmoids has absolutely no validity, just a baseless assertion from a moron.
Base to it. You call it baseless, but obviously I've demonstrated there's a base to it by showing you that there's a real mechanism in an experiment that actually achieves this
and therefore it's all over Earth. Right? That's a baseless assertion that we're asking you to back.
Baseless.
Yes, baseless.
You can't show the dome, dude.
All right, time for a red herring segue. Yeah, Grim. You got smashed today because you didn't have cowbell. That's the problem with most claims that get made here by idiots. We ask them to actually prove the thing they claim, and what have they got? Asking me about the dome. Wow.
If that's your basis, then flat Earth gets smashed every day by your own.
Really? How so?
Just don't have any cowbell at all.
With your lack of curvature, right?
I'll tell you what, Nathan. Let's move on to the next
May I
topic.
ask you something?
Let's move on to the next topic.
You got to ask
Where
Nathan,
he
dude.
was parroting that
No, I want to ask you,
shut him up.
Grims, because
No, man, you got to ask Nathan if you can ask me something.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do definitely need my permission. With that,
Yeah.
I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you tuned in live. If you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. But if you are watching live, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the live audience. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Like gas
Are
in
trying to make
between
experiments
it, because I don't think your experiments even
Isn't
tried
that the only thing
It's
that could have
just
ever
the
been done?
ionized gas, and that's not what we breathe.
so that's how they did it. So they did observe it, and then they
That's all you
start
can
making
do.
experiments down here. All right.
That's all
Yeah,
you
because
can
that's
do.
how you-
Hey,
that's
look
what
at
they do.
that.
They observe a thing.
You know why? You know why
Actually,
that is all
are
you
you
can do? Because
mind.
what you're trying
What's
to
that?
presuppose is physically impossible. That's why.
Hey, let me do my childish understanding here to see if I'm understanding this right. They're saying a magnetic field is containing the gas, right? So
It's a
there's
magnetic
containment.
pressure that's allowing the plasmoid
Wait.
The plasmoid
There's
has properties
containment.
to it that will hold
You
in
don't
the
get it.
actual
Hold on. You don't get what I'm
gases that are
saying.
not ionized.
Hold on. You're not getting what I'm saying. The thing on the table is, how do you have gas pressure without a container? You're saying the gas is being contained by the magnetic field.
It has a container, but the container is
Okay.
a plasma.
That's it. All I wanted.
Yeah, the plasma.
So what he's doing is giving us the container, though. Explain scientifically.
Claiming
That's what he's doing.
the container is magnetized plasmoids.
Yeah, so it is still a
not
container.
demonstrable. You can
It's just a different
demonstrate
type of
that
container.
containing within it
Well, it is a container
inhomogeneous
where
gas,
they can
though.
send rockets out. You know?
Next to a
because it's a
vacuum?
electromagnetic container.
Is it next to a vacuum?
I mean,
Yeah, it's not like a glass wall that things can't penetrate. It's a container of electromagnetism and plasma.
Is it next to a vacuum?
So can
Yeah,
it contain inhomogeneous
Like I said,
gas?
let me say it again.
Gravity
Is it
might not have
next
anything to
a
do
vac-
with.
Shut your mouth. Is the plasmoid next to a vacuum? Is the plasmoid next to a vacuum?
What kind of vacuum? I mean, yes, but also no.
Then a plasmoid will rapidly expand and dissipate. You're finished. Can we move on to the next topic?
Sure.
A freestanding plasmoid with nothing to draw material. We can't move on because
we're
you're not
moving
making a
on
point. You
because
think
you
you
just
are, and
you
you're not.
smashed with that
This is
one.
not the
Let's move on to the
situation.
next one.
There's still matter out there that it's drawing on.
let's
So
move
it's
on to
not
the
a
next point.
vacuum. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not a fucking vacuum out there where there's no matter for the plasmoid to draw on.
Really, it is a
Plasmoid
vacuum.
still
That's the
drawing.
story.
Stop talking, dude. Seriously.
And then a negative
because
17 tour, you freaking monkey.
You're I'm just trying to clear up your misunderstanding. If
It's
you,
not a misunderstanding.
You
Right,
cleared
let's
it
just
up.
get that clear. It's not a misunderstanding. It's the heliocentric rhetoric. We're not misunderstanding anything. We're just parroting off what they say the sky is. They say it's a vacuum. Simple as that.
seriously, you're not very interesting, actually. And
Oh, really? Well, we're just parroting off what they say the sky is and why it wouldn't be that way. Now, your claim that highly charged gas is going to somehow manage to maintain itself next to a vacuum is horse crap.
how do you know that, dude?
It's called the second law.
Right here.
It's called the second law of thermodynamics.
You're not in a fucking vacuum like that.
Yeah, we know. We know the sky is not a vacuum. It's all bullshit. We already know, but thank you.
All right, you're not gonna listen,
there's
so it
a-
doesn't make
there's
any
a
difference.
different type of vacuum we're in then. What kind
No,
of?
they're
he
talking
just
about-
conceded.
in the experiment.
He just-
all right, in the
he just
in the, shut
conceded.
up, man. Yes, it's a different type of vacuum. Absolutely, one of them is not a complete vacuum, and the other one has no out in Earth, the Earth's atmosphere or whatever, or in space. It's not a complete vacuum. There's still lots of
It doesn't have to
material
be a complete
and plasma. Excuse me, you're in a
That's
solar
not the argument.
wind. All right, there's still material to draw on. The magnetic field of Earth draws that material in constantly, creating more of a current. This is what you're not understanding.
We're not understanding it.
When we
It
do the
doesn't have to
plasmoid
be a
experiment
complete
and it
vacuum.
dissipates in a vacuum chamber.
be a lower
Yes,
pressure
because there's no
system.
other material for it to draw on. Shut
Really
the fuck
strong
up.
lower pressure system.
Let me
You're
goddamn
an
finish.
idiot.
Seriously.
You're an idiot.
Just let
You're
me
already
finish.
done. You're
It's
already
not that
done,
big a
sir.
deal, bro. It ain't gonna hurt
You're
you.
already
There's
done.
nothing to fear.
You're already done. You're a knucklehead.
Two
We can
different
move on to
things.
the next
One is
subject.
an experiment. Shut the fuck up, nigga. One is an experiment.
Swearing, please.
No, seriously,
That's
shut the
not what
fuck
your
up.
sister said.
Grim, please stop swearing.
All right, keep interrupting me. Like you're acting like you're scared to hear what I have to say.
Oh yeah, we're frightened. I'm
Otherwise, there
quivering
wouldn't
in
be
my
that
boots
much
right
interruption.
now. You are a crayon munching, Dunning-Kruger pretender
Oh,
clown.
fuck you,
Let's
dude. You're the
move on
biggest
to the
Dunning
next
Kruger
subject.
out there.
Please
You're,
stop
you're
swearing.
actually
No,
dumber than
you haven't
you don't
said
even.
shit. You haven't said
You're not
shit.
even right
That's
at
all.
all.
Let's move on to the next subject. You're parroting,
Same shit
mindless
over and over
parroting
again, dude.
of that tattooed
So
job
anyway,
of the Hutt,
guys, if anybody's
Ken
interested,
Wheeler,
actually,
right?
let me know.
Where he
I'll
tried to
explain it.
disprove the double
you're
slit
interested in the
experiment by
problem, let
showing
me
Grim,
know. I'll
single
explain.
Grim, shut up.
fracture.
Grim, shut up.
Shut up, nigga. Shut up.
This is my show.
Nathan, shut
Last
the fuck
chance.
up.
Last chance.
Seriously.
Last
You
chance.
got nothing to say, man.
Last chance. You're just saying if you want to find out more, you can talk to me. Yeah, we don't need you to whore yourself out on my show.
anything.
We need you to shut up. Last chance.
Oh, now it's threatening to kick me out because you can't bully me?
Because you
I wanna
can't
just put
shut
with your
up.
bullshit?
You're still talking now.
I know. That's what the fuck I'm here for.
Right. Bye-bye, Grim. You obviously
I was
can't
asked a
say no.
question. I'm in the middle of
I've asked you
answering
not
it.
to swear.
If
I've asked you
anybody's
to
trying to talk, it's
button
still
your
mine,
lip.
isn't it?
Yeah. You're not running the show. You're not going to demand everybody's attention for the entirety of the time that you're here. If you can't cope with that, I have to shut you up. I've got to control my show. You don't have to like it. Now, if you can cope with other people talking rather than whoring out your own information, then I'll take you off mute. If all you can do is demand that people come to you to find out more shit, then I'm not going to let you off mute because I don't want to hear you whoring yourself on my show. Clear?
Is there a second show?
There's the same nonsense in Discord too. It's just
Yes, there's a
loads-
second show, right?
Yeah, there will be a second show.
Yeah, this clown, this deluded Dunning-Kruger pretender clown, not only conjures these plasma friggin' shells around the earth. We already destroyed his little plasmoid nonsense. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I wanted to move on to the next subject, where he mindlessly parrots that tattooed Jabba the Hutt, Ken Wheeler, and says the double slit experiment is falsified by single slit diffraction, right? This is tantamount to debunking liquid water by showing an ice cube. Let's see, take him off mute. Let's see what he has to say about this.
All right. So what's your problem now? You have a problem with the single slit experiment?
No, you have a problem with it. Can you please tell us how the single slit.
Oh, I have a problem
diffraction-
with light being a
Oh, no, no,
particle?
I'm not
Yeah,
done yet.
sure do.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Diarrhea of the mouth. How single
Dude, I
slit
would knock you the fuck
diffraction-
out, man. Don't talk to me like that.
Grim,
you
Grim,
bitch.
you're not capable
Look,
of
I'm
having
not
a
into
conversation.
having people-
So that's no more Grim. Sorry, John. He's incapable of having a conversation. It has to descend to him punching you in the face, rather than listening to a coherent delivery of a request for an explanation of how single slit diffraction debunks the double slit experiment. He's not capable of giving a delivery of a rebuttal, so he'll claim he's going to beat you up while you're giving that delivery.
That's my kind of party, Grim.
Oh God, don't pander to it, please, God.
My kind of party, baby. Come on, bring it.
He's not
You
talking here
friggin'
anymore.
clown.
Not productive.
You Dunning-Kruger pretender clown. Go back over to Jose Retard Show.
How? For somebody to fly and have this on stream.
I'll take that Pepsi challenge. You don't know who you're dealing with, son. You freaking clown. Show how single slit diffraction disproves double slit diffraction. Please. I want to see that.
The fact that the pattern can be achieved with a single slit automatically eliminates the idea that it needs to be achieved by a double split. Because obviously, if it needed to be achieved by a double split, then you wouldn't be able to achieve it with a single split. Debunked right there, you dickhead.
Hold on. So the effect they
hold
can
on a sec.
make it with
Hold on. First and foremost, I just want to point out to Grim V that it's not a double split.
All I heard was horse split.
It's not the double split.
Yeah, no shit.
But you just said double
They
split.
might be going a double split.
Slit.
Yeah, you did.
Does he even know what the fucking problem with single slit and double slit is? He doesn't realize it, does he?
Tell us what.
None of you do you?
Tell us.
If you're thinking it's funny.
Tell us.
Right. Well, the whole reason for this double split thing was supposed to be because of the interference pattern, how particles pack up in waves, and how light is a particle and a wave. Right?
No, not right at all. It has absolutely sod all to do with light being a particle or a wave. Wave-particle duality has got absolutely nothing to do with the description of a probability distribution. No, you're wrong. You clearly don't understand what this experiment is.
I don't know. He claimed a new phenomena.
Let's see how well he knows the double slit experiment. What is the cause?
I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to give you a minute to read what the double slit experiment is supposed to
I don't need to. I know already. I'm asking you what the cause of wave function collapse is.
Listen, in modern physics, the double slit experiment is a demonstration that light and matter can display characteristics of both classically defined waves and particles.
Where's that from?
Drops mic.
Can't be a wave and a particle at the same time.
Where's that from?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia? That's from Wikipedia? It's wrong. That'd be incorrect. Now, an experiment is designed to ascertain the cause of an effect. In this effect, we've got wave function collapse. I want to know if you know what the cause of that phenomena is. If you do, you will demonstrate that you have a reasonable understanding of what the double slit experiment actually is, Grim. What's the cause?
Listen, I'm going to read it from you straight off the Wikipedia. In modern physics, the double slit experiment is a demonstration that light and matter can display characteristics of both classically defined waves and particles.
Incorrect. I've just said it twice. You parroting Wiki, Muppet, isn't giving me the cause in this experiment, is it? I'll ask you for a third time, dumb shit. What's the cause in this experiment? Given that science is trying to elucidate the cause, what's the cause?
Said, no, that's not right, you idiot. And then we read it off the Wikipedia, and now...
It's wrong. Fourth time, dumb fuck thinks that because he's parroted Wiki, he's right. He's not. Yep. He's wrong. Wiki's wrong.
It's interpretive extrapolation. It's not the actual thing.
Just like he did it with plasmoids, wiki plasmoids.
So I'll try again. I'll try slowly. Given that science is attempting to elucidate the cause of an effect, what is the cause in the double slit experiment, Grim V?
I get it from both sides. The Globers treat me the same way, so I'm used to it.
They are behaving like Glovers when they're denying even the fucking definitions on.
It's not the definition I'm asking for, you stupid bonehead SX. I'm asking for the cause. 5th time.
Now you're asking for the cause.
Yeah. What's the cause? That's what they're looking for with science, dumb shit. They're looking for a cause. And I want to know if you know what that cause is in this experiment or not. So far, 6 attempts of me asking you what the cause is haven't resulted in you telling me.
That's a whole nother conversation.
It's the point of the experiment. They're trying to elucidate cause. And you don't know what it is. But you think you've debunked it by parroting Wiki and listening to the tattoo Jabba the Hutt.
Characteristics of both classically defined waves and particles.
I don't want a definition.
You can't have waves and
Let's try it a
particles
7th time. I will
Glasgow.
humiliate Grim for the rest of this show by asking him for the cause in this experiment and him parroting the definition from Wiki.
The whole reason why we're having this conversation is to argue the cause against
What is the cause? And what is
of
that
being
cause? Really?
Of being
What is
just
it?
a particle
And what is
or a
it?
wave.
What is it, Grim? What is that
Right.
cause? What is it?
And to show that
What
you
is
don't
it?
need a double
What is
slit
it,
to
Grim?
get the
What
same
is that
interference
cause?
pattern.
Let's see how long you
shut
can
the fuck-
obfuscate
You're like
this
a little
question.
scrambling child. You don't shut up. While
Yeah, go on, squirm for me, you little fundy bitch. I'll ask for the cause indefinitely till this show ends, and you will continue to demonstrate how stupid you are.
Just evolve to your level, dude.
Hold on. If he's showing that the same thing happens on one slit than 2 slits, that means that there's no cause for anything because there's nothing happening.
Well, you don't even know what the cause is. He hasn't told us, SX. I don't really know why you're defending him. I'm asking him a simple question. Experimental data is ascertaining the cause of an effect. I want to know if he knows what the cause is in this experiment or not. I've asked 8 times and he hasn't told me. That's the bottom line.
Because
He's
they're
dumb. That's the bottom line. Grim's dumb.
If it's a photon or a standing wave or...
No, that's not the cause. You're dumb. You still don't know what you're debunking here, do you, Grim, you dumbo?
Actually, we do know. We know that
What is
for
it then?
a fact.
Let's try for the 9th time. What is the cause in the double slit experiment?
What we're doing is we're knowing what is not the cause.
No, that's not what science does. You don't directly test the null. We started this show when we pointed out the bluffers of this arena don't know what science is. You don't test the null in science, sunshine. An admirable demonstration that you don't know what science is, Grim.
Call this fair.
Fair? You haven't given me the cause and you don't know what science is. You've just declared that you test the null. You don't. You don't understand what science is,
You
Grim.
failed 5th grade general science, sir. Ask him what the 3 constituent parts of an
I made straight
experiment are,
A's in
Nathan.
science,
Let's break
kids.
it down to basics.
Yeah, I don't mind that game. What are the 3 constituent parts of an experiment, Grim?
We're not going to go down this road, dude.
What? A road that humiliates a complete moron like you who doesn't know the answer, but claims he can debunk experimental data by watching a fat man with tattoos?
Sucks.
Hello?
What
What's the cause, and what are the 3 constituent parts of an experiment?
Change the subject and jump off.
No, we're talking about the experiment known as the double split, according to this moron. I want to know, A, what the cause is, and B, what the 3 constituent parts of all experiments are.
The last engagement. How about that?
Last
you mind if I
engagement.
finish the last engagement then before you start a new one?
Last engagement, you were talking about debunking the double slit experiment with single slit diffraction. We've tried to ascertain if you understand what the cause in the experiment is, the fundamental reason for doing the experiment, and you don't even know!
Listen.
Yeah, I'll listen. Tell me what the cause of the experiment is.
To know that the previous cause was wrong. So the previous notion as what it was is wrong.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't give a shit what the previous notion was. I want to know what the actual cause is, not the previous notion that they debunked. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the not cause, you dumbo. I'm interested in whether or not, 10th time, you know what the cause in the double split is, you fucking moron.
I hope anybody can hear me through.
We're working on the
Because all
really
he's doing
is level here.
We hear you, dumbo. The audience also hears me asking for the 11th time if you know what the cause in the double split is, you idiot.
Rambling and calling me names and doing weird shit. I don't know why, but you need to stop
banana
it
split.
or go fuck yourself.
Yeah. You squirm for me, you little fundy bitch. Tell me to go fuck myself. What's the cause 12th time? I've asked. 12 times I've asked him what the cause is. In this experiment he thinks he's going to debunk with a guy on YouTube.
We don't need to know the cause to know that the initial cause was...
We don't need to know the cause. It's the primary point of doing experimentation. Another admirable demonstration that Grim V doesn't know what science is.
Murdering didn't do it.
Assertion of the cause is the point of science, you fucking idiot.
All I need to know is that the person who was accused that didn't do it.
That's law. That's not science. You stupid idiot. We're talking about establishment of cause and effect based on scientific prediction known as hypothesis. That would be actualized by experiment to prove or disprove a hypothesis, not what men judge in courtrooms.
Oh God, you don't even make any sense, dude.
Yeah, I make perfect sense. You don't know what the cause in this experiment you think you've debunked by listening to Ken Wheeler. That's what you think. You think you've debunked it by listening to Ken and parroting Wiki.
You misrepresenting his analogy?
Yeah, it's just total nonsense.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You don't know what the cause is.
You are.
You're an idiot. Total nonsense from a complete idiot who, after 13 times of being asked what the cause in the double split, total moron, is, you're telling me that this makes no sense. Maybe you should bleat. Bleat that it's unfair treatment you're getting here.
Yeah, I heard you already, Nathan. And the point is, you're not making any sense.
I'm asking for a cause of an experiment you think you can debunk. That's making perfect sense. You just don't know the answer because you're a moron.
One more time, Nathan.
Yeah, you don't know the answer because you're a moron. You don't know what an experiment is either. Correct.
Parts. Let's break it down, man. Just go to what are the three constituent parts of an experiment?
The person we accused didn't do it.
What are the three constituent parts of a scientific experiment, Grimby?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to do that with you guys.
The problem. Why can't you just say it? I say it every day. What's so hard about
That's the bottom line, Armin. He doesn't know. He's stupid.
Well, maybe if I answer, you could answer it in 6 letters.
Give him the letters and see if he gets it.
It's relatively simple if you just keep on basically memorizing it. It's not that difficult.
6 letters would all it take. We were already past this question.
Go on then, chocolate. Just give Grimby the 6 letters and see if he gets it. Chocolate. Please, can you give him the 6 letters and see if he can guess it then?
IVDVCV.
Dude, we're not trying to.
He couldn't even listen to them. Couldn't even listen. Absolutely priceless. This is the level of bluff stupidity that we have to deal with as flat earthers. Complete retards who do not understand what science is, yet claim they can debunk an experiment they don't know what the cause of is. Unbelievable arrogance. The guy doesn't know what an experiment is, doesn't know what this experiment is, doesn't know the name of the experiment, keeps calling it the double split, and yet he thinks in his arrogant stupidity that he can debunk this. And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, another massive thank you to all of today's debating panel, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!